fly key is a little bit different in that we're not necessarily with this key type. We're not necessarily trying to remove something from an image. What we're actually doing is scaling, positioning, and moving and rotating it around on screen. And we can also do that in addition to removing parts of the image, but the DVE stands for Digital Video Effects, and that's what we're applying to this key type. A couple examples, and the reason it's so practical, actually online uses this a lot, and this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, where we can't always tell the story that we want to tell just by putting one thing on screen. So like the online team does Skype calls with people all the time. Well, they're in two different rooms, but we want them to be on the screen at the same time. And so they're able to use DVEs to actually put multiple people on screen at the same time. And we have what we'll call a two box. We'll have two people on screen talking to each other. We can have three boxes. We can have people in the middle and different things on each side. There's so many different possibilities we can do with DVE keys, because this is one camera shot, but it's scaled, cropped a little bit, moved to a different part of the screen, and the same thing with this image here and with this image here. So Chris, how do we use DVE keys, and how could we build something like this with the Ross Carbonite?
Great. Well, my go-to is, where is Zach Kimmery? Because he is a master at this. Amazing at it. I build one and I feel great, and then all of a sudden I see him build one and I'm like, I quit. I'm done. So, but very, very easy way to build these is the same way we selected our key type. We want to go down, so we'll manipulate key 1 again.
Okay, I got key 1 selected.
Perfect. So now in our keys, or our key type, we want to switch that to DVE key.
Okay.
So that'll be over on your right-hand side.
Got it. There's a lot of settings here.
Oh yeah. That's it. You start getting into a lot of settings that could make or break something. So just being very confident in what you're messing with is key.
Get it?
Yeah. So what we want to do is, yeah, well played. So let's see. Let's use for content. Let's select. What do you think, Andy?
Well, what am I going to have on my background?
So for your background, let's leave splash.
Okay.
We could do that.
All right. You know what? I think I actually have a blank splash loaded. Let me see if I've got that.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Media. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do. Media 3.
Awesome. That's perfect. Cool. So, and what Andy just did is, on his bus map, he just went to a shifted layer, because you can have more than the 16 inputs.
Or 8 if you're on the tiny
or
panel.
8. Correct. So with a tiny panel, it's a total of 16. 8 are on a shifted layer, or on the larger panel, which is the black 1A, it's 16 per layer or level. So so he selected the blank splash.
All right, so we've got our background to work with. So we want to put something on top of that.
Yes, we want to put something on top. So that's where we want to select a source. So let's say with key 1, let's do you have anything running in T2 P1 right now?
Yep. So you want me to select that as the source for key 1?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so I don't see anything right now. Nothing's changing. Let me put our multiviewer back on the screen. How could I see this so I can see what I'm doing in real time?
Got it. So what you want to do is you can key that on. You can key it on live.
Okay. In my transition area here. All right, I'll do that. Okay, so I've got some weird stuff going on. Looks like it's kind of like cropping it or something like that.
Right, it's kind of off the screen. A good way to fix that back is over in your menu, in your settings.
Okay, go back to key 1. Yep.
You can scroll through those settings really quick. And so on your panel, a quick way to fix this is to just double click the knob, so you see the X.
Okay, yeah. The select button would be equivalent to like pushing one of the knobs.
Exactly.
On the switcher. All right, so if I double click those, it just kind of resets everything. Okay, I see what it's doing. So I'm just gonna double click all these and reset all these settings. Okay, crop. Okay, so now I've got basically a full
image. So
T2 P1 is just coming up right over top of the background, not showing any of it.
Right. So with your, on a panel, you're going to have an adjustment knob. It's up in the top right of your panel. I don't know if you guys saw that picture earlier, but you do have an adjustment joystick that's up there.
Oh,
But
yeah.
You can also make those adjustments inside.
Yeah, these guys right here. There's not one on the smaller panel, but on the
There
larger
is
panel.
right over.
Oh, yeah, there is. You're right.
It's just a little tiny one. Yeah.
That little guy.
Yep. So those are a very quick and easy way to adjust those, but you can go in the menu and adjust the X, Y position and also the size. So
Gotcha.
for an example of what we want to do, the best thing I start out with is the size of the source. So in the menu, let's drop that size down from 100%.
Okay, I see. And now it's starting to show up on top of the background.
Exactly.
So I've got the size at 50%.
Right. So now, if we wanted to do that, say we want to put it over to the left side of the screen, we want to adjust the X position.
Okay.
So let's...
and let's go into the right. So if I go up, it goes to the right. If I go down, it goes to the left.
Exactly.
It's too far, maybe.
And what's great is because we have show alpha still showing.
Oh, yeah.
You can see just literally you're just moving a box.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So I guess let's just keep playing with this. Let me go up a little bit, maybe.
Okay.
Put this up. What else can we do with this?
So at the same time, we can go ahead, with another key, say if we did key 2 select.
Okay, so I've got key 2 selected.
And just look around, what source would you like to use for that?
I think I have T2, P2 rolling as well, so we can use that and pull that in. So that's selected. Now I still can't see it.
Right, so that's because your keyer, first you have to check the keyer type, because every time you click key.
Gotcha. It's on self key right now.
Exactly. So it's not going to shift or do anything. It's just going to cut that black out or that grayscale.
So I want to change this to DVE key, right?
That's correct.
Okay, still don't see anything.
Right. So now what you want to do is key on key 2 down in your position area.
Okay. And now it's like kind of doing the same thing. It's like off to the side. It's kind of jacked up.
Right. So let's go ahead and
how to reset everything. Okay, sweet. Size. Okay, so that looks pretty close. So I guess I'll just do the same thing as I did before, just bring the size down.
Right.
And bring the position over. Now, Angel was asking if we needed a graphic to create borders. Chris, do we need a graphic if we want to put borders around this? Like, right now we have these two video sources overlapping each other, and it's kind of hard to tell which one is which sometimes. So what can we do to fix that?
So you could actually mess with it has border settings.
Okay.
You could go into, so right there, you see aspect, border.
Gotcha. Okay, border. So if I'll just see what happens when I bring that up. Whoa. A little much. Okay.
And so then you can also soften those edges so it's not just a drastic border on the sides. Okay. Right. You can soften that up, and it's actually going to smooth out those corners. It's actually going to look like it's kind of fading out or tapering off on the sides.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So that's an easy way to just put a border around everything instead of having to drop a graphic behind it.
Gotcha. Cool. And can I change the color of this?
Yeah, so you can actually go.
Just went to the next menu. Let's see, orange, perfect. Yellow, nice. Okay, cool. So we've got DVE. We learned about DVE, self key, chroma key. A lot of the main key types. I'm going to go back to my key 1 and add a border to that too now that we've got one.
Great.
So they look the same.
Yeah, and the best way I like to look at it as when you're messing with keyers, I look at it as a canvas. I'll put whatever's going to a screen. My canvas is putting together or compositing different elements to be able to create like the perfect picture that I'm trying to represent.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those ways that you can do that is you're in a hosting segment and you want to jump over to another camera. You just put your key source as 2 different cameras, which is what they do a lot on online. And that's how they manipulate and make those boxes to make it look like, say you're watching ESPN when they're jumping back and forth. That's exactly what they're doing.